Hello everyone, I am PyroFalkon and this is Monster Rancher 4. In the last few episodes we've been doing expeditions down to the PYRO'S ruins, and we have to go back in one more time. So we're going to make sure that Cupcake, Ash Girl, and Macbeth get some rest, even though they really don't need it. And then we will do... Is that something I need to worry about? The Akamura? Okay. Akamura's doing a thing, so... a moment of distraction there. Anyway, we will be continuing our AMA gauntlet here once we get back into the PYRO'S ruins. Keep those questions coming. This recording session wound up going a bit longer than intended, so this is still the same recording session. Hooray! So, I know I literally just said it 3 seconds ago, but keep those questions going, because as I record this, we had a backlog of 40 AMA questions. That's 40, and I am through 18 of them. So we are really, y'all are getting your money's worth. Actually, I'm getting my money's worth because it gives me content without having to work very hard to think of something to say. Because good lord, is it hard to think of something to say sometimes. Alright, so, well, hold on, I guess I better... I'm saying hold on as if I'm not the one in charge of playing the game right now. Alright. Another expedition to the PYRO'S ruins. At least Cupcake is probably getting tons of prep for her eventual tournament victories. So here we are. Okay. So the next AMA comes from Kayla, who asks, am I a fan of any long-running TV shows? And then specifically cites NCIS because he's been binging it. How long is long-running? Because if that's like 10 seasons or more, then not really. I suppose the closest would be South Park. But I haven't seen the last few seasons of South Park, so... I've seen a couple episodes of the last few seasons, and I wasn't very impressed. So, eh. NCIS I was a huge fan of for a while, but I mainly watched it with my ex, and once we split I stopped watching it so much. I've never really been interested in The Simpsons. I've had love-hate relationships, and come-and-go relationships, I guess, with WWE, so not really at this point. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore, for better or for worse. I do binge occasionally certain specific shows on Netflix or whatever. But as far as something that's really long-running, like, say, double-digit seasons or anything, not really. Although I wouldn't mind taking suggestions, though I rarely have time to watch stuff. When I do watch stuff, it's usually YouTube. And I have Let's Players that I enjoy watching and so on. But, yeah, you never know. Okay, next one is from Dynasty Girl. Hello, Dynasty Girl. It's been a while since I've heard from you. Who asked, AMA from my husband Michael, if you don't mind, did you enjoy Dragon Quest franchise and what did you ever play it for the channel? He said he would watch and subscribe if you ever did. I have never finished a Dragon Quest. I do like Dragon Quest, but I haven't really played very many of them. The last one I've played to any sort of... Where's the spot for the fucking pillar? Whatever. The last one I played at any length was Dragon Quest 9? Is that the one on the DS? Oh, hello, Jack in the Show. Been a while since I've seen one of you. I really like Dragon Quest 9. I just never finished it. Same reason why I have trouble with just about any DS game. It hurts my hands to play. So I never finished it. I don't even know how close I got. I couldn't estimate it, but I enjoyed it. I really did like it. I've just never sat down with the intent to play one. Would I ever for the channel? It's always tricky to answer that for RPGs because they take so long to do. I think RPGs are better done in streams. But even then, like, unless I knew going in how long it was, it'd be a little tough for me. We've got Earthbound coming to the channel soon, and part of the reason I recorded it was I thought I was going to get 40 or 50 or 60 episodes out of it for tax season. That way, during tax season, I could run a series that I wouldn't really have to do a lot of work on. But Earthbound turned out to only be a 29-episode series, which is shocking to me, because I didn't remember it being that short of an RPG. So if there is a Dragon Quest that is that short, that I can clear in 15 hours or so, I would absolutely be down for doing that for the show. I am going to have a lot harder time doing 60, 70, 80-hour RPGs, which is another reason why the game I had mentioned before that I wanted to do, Lost Odyssey, I don't know if I'll do it, because it is a big RPG, and I didn't even do that much grinding in that one, and it took dozens upon dozens of hours. And YouTube being what it is, YouTube indirectly punishes you for having a long series, and certainly for having a series where you have numbers in the title. Once you get into the episode 13, 14, 15, 50, 100, YouTube doesn't really like it that much. And you guys, not you specifically, but I guess the YouTube audience doesn't like it that much. That's why the best viewed episode of any series is always the first one, and then it goes downhill from there. So, that'd be the only thing. If I did it for a business reason, Dragon Quest wouldn't be very good for the channel. If I did it for my fun, then I wouldn't care. Maybe I'll look into getting Dragon Quest 9 for the emulator, because I've been playing Pokemon Conquest occasionally on my DS emulator, and I can easily do that because I just use my PlayStation controller and a mouse. So I'll think about it. If you know, it doesn't just have to be Dynasty Girl. If you know how long Dragon Quest 9 is, let me know in the comments, because if it's like less than 20 hours, then I could do that for the channel. I'd obviously cut out all the grinding, but unless I AMA it. But yeah. And if nothing else, I'm always willing to do, say, a 3 or 4 episode test run of a series, and if I only get like 10 views, then I can cut it loose and call it a day. But if it's a surprise hit, then screw it. We'll stick with it and play it to completion. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I certainly didn't expect Monster Rancher 4 or Evil Genius to do as well as they have done for this channel, and boy howdy, were they surprise hits. So yeah, I'm always willing to take suggestions. Next question is from Kalo. What's with the inclusion of breakdancing added to the Olympics in 2024? What sport would I include, real or fictional? First of all, I didn't know breakdancing was added to the Olympics, and that sounds like bullshit. But I know, I'm sure it's not. Just like if someone woke me up and was like, "Hey, breakdancing is now an Olympic sport," I would have been like, "Could you let me go back to bed, please?" Or put Chrissy Teigen in a bikini in front of me, because either way, clearly I need more sleep. Wow, that made it sound like I'd be bored of seeing Chrissy Teigen in a bikini. I mean, Chrissy Teigen. I apologize. It's Teigen, not Teigen. Oh man. Hold on a second here. Increases int attacks. Dissipate and dodge, but ooh. Get rid of. Oh, get rid of Machismo. You don't need that. What sport would I like to include? Blitzball. That was my first gut wrench reaction, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that'd be fucking rad. Yeah, let's add Blitzball, because if fictional sports are okay, and we assume we have some sort of magical ability where the sport is done as it is presented, and everyone is safe and everything. Yeah, sure, man. Let's add Blitzball. It'd be fucking rad. I would love to see a real-life Blitzball match that wouldn't result in everyone immediately drowning. That'd be so cool. It also probably wouldn't be that interesting more than every well, maybe it would be. Actually, there probably would be a big audience for Blitzball, so why not? We'll add Blitzball there. Next question is from Judah. What do you think of non-Euclidean games? I meant to look that up, and I didn't. Hold on. We're just stopping the episode dead for a hot minute. Thank you, Google. This is from xenorogue.medium.com, I guess. Whatever the hell this website is. The term non-Euclidean is often used by gamers to mean any kind of game where the space does not work exactly as in our world. Does that mean something like subliminal and... oh, geez, I'm going to have to take a screenshot of that. Anyway, does that mean, like, Stanley Parable and that kind of thing? That's cool. I actually like games like that, if I'm getting the definition correct. It can be a little weird, and disconcerting. I remember in Skyrim, there's the one quest where you go inside a cube, and there is more room inside the cube than outside the cube. Wait, vice versa. Like, the cube looks small, but then you go inside it, and it's this massive room. And I am curious how they pulled that off coding-wise. I'm sure it's just a trick of perspective and whatever. But anyway, I think it's interesting. I actually wanted to do Subliminal. Markiplier did a full run of Subliminal on the show, on his show, obviously. He doesn't know who the hell I am. And I didn't watch it because I want to play Subliminal. I think I watched the first 5 minutes of someone playing that game so I could kind of see what the hell was going on. And it's very interesting. Really bends your mind and makes you approach a problem in a different way and gives you a different type of mentality that you have to adopt in order to succeed. I think that's cool. Would I ever do one for the show, which was not a question Judah asked, but I'm going to go ahead and extrapolate. I've really wanted to do Subliminal. I don't think I would do that specific one for the show. And a lot of non-Euclidean games tend to show themselves in horror to kind of mess with the player, which makes sense, and I don't ever want to do horror games for the show. Except maybe Man of Medan. So anyway, I doubt I'll ever do one for the show. But as far as playing it, they're interesting. I think they're kind of cool. And as long as the core concept is good, because you can easily do mind-melting stuff but not have a good concept. A good example of that, I think, would be the one PlayStation game that simulates being on LSD. I don't remember the name of it, but it could actually be LSD. The game was designed by a developer who had taken LSD and wanted to create software to replicate or otherwise recreate the experience. And it looks dumb as hell. Very confusing, but I'm also not drugs guy, so who knows? Maybe it's entertaining to drugs people. So in that case, that's a counterexample because the core concept, in my opinion, is weak and not all that interesting to play. Whereas Subliminal and Stanley Parable are very interesting to play and very... they've got really intriguing concepts and premises and themes, so that works. But yeah, I don't mind them. I don't play very many of them, but to be fair, I don't think there are very many out there like that, so... but if you have any to recommend, please let me know in the comments. I don't make any promises as ever, but let me know which ones exist and I might look into them. Okay, next question from Kalo. What's your opinion on crunch in the video game industry? It needs to die a very quick, immediate death. I don't give a shit about playing video games 6 months earlier or a year earlier before buying video games aren't that important. And I say that being a person whose multiple careers have evolved around video games for the past 20 years. Literally 20 years. Video games aren't that important. They're a medium. They're an entertainment... They're entertainment art, which is fine, but they're not that important. They're not important enough to destroy human beings in order to create them. Now, if you are the creator and you are choosing to destroy yourself to do it, that's different. I have done probably what would be considered crunch myself. I've done 22-hour streams. I've put in 12, 14-hour work days. But the thing is, it's always my choice, and the only one pressuring me to do it is myself. Hell, I am so one-sided about it that it's you lot, the fans, who tend to try to keep me in check to take care of myself. But it's different when you're working for a company and they expect you to do all that. Crunch needs to die. No video game is worth actual human suffering. It just isn't. No piece of art is worth making somebody else suffer. And even worse is that in many cases, the developers who are crunching are not the ones who are getting rich off of it. If that happened, like if people crunched Cyberpunk, that's a bad example because Cyberpunk sold like shit. If the developers who crunched Grand Theft Auto 5 then saw large percentages of the DLC, fine. Then maybe putting in 100-hour days are worth having 7-figure paychecks or whatever. But if you're just a rank-and-file developer, artist, programmer, whatever, just no. Crunch isn't worth it. None of it is worth it. And for anyone who says that, like, we need crunch in the industry to make games like that, I am playing Monster Rancher 4, which came out 20 years ago, and I am having more fun with this than I ever will with however Cyberpunk turns out 50,000 patches later. You don't need state-of-the-art graphics, top-of-the-line graphics, and 50,000 piece orchestras and open worlds that are larger than our fucking planet. You don't need any of that to make a fun game. Have good mechanics and a decent story. That's all I ask. That's all most people ask. You don't need crunch. Crunch needs to die. Yesterday. And it also... It leads me to not... Yes! Oh, Ash Girl. Oh, Ash Girl, we cannot abandon Windlore. Why can we not abandon Windlore, everyone who's seen the first run? Windlore is the only thing that matters. Why is Windlore the only thing that matters? Because it boosts accuracy and it boosts life damage on moves. Windlore is the only thing that matters, and it is better than fucking magic lore or any other lore. Damn right, Ash Girl. Now, I don't know if I can assign any moves to it with Ash Girl, but that's future Pyro's problem. Anyway, crunch needs to die. What I was going to say was I'm less inclined as a consumer to buy video games that I know have been crunched on. Like, I don't give a shit about Cyberpunk. That's not just because of crunch, but it's also because of its bugs, which I will readily admit. But I'm never going to buy another Ubisoft game again after everything has come out about what Ubisoft has done and the horrible things that their management has allowed to happen, because I'm not going to support it. I'm not going to put any more money into Activision, because Activision Blizzard is an evil company. I barely tolerate Electronic Arts, and even my Sims games, most of the time IGN bought them for me, so I don't feel bad. So, crunch needs to die, shitty companies need to die, evil corporations need to die. Just we need more Stardew Valley. Anyway, that's all the time I've got for today. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for another episode where we will continue our AMA fun times. Although this might have been actually a bit early because I didn't stop my timer during the one time skip. But it's probably fine. Bye, everybody!